So I'm Natascha Mueller-Hirth. I'm an Associate Dean for Research at Gordon University, and I'm one of the researchers that has organised this 3-day symposium. So we have ODA, Scottish Funding Council, funds to run this 3-day event, and essentially what it's all about is to try and understand how community-based organisations and informal settlements or informal settings have responded to or do respond to crises in these kind of informal conditions. And so everyone that's here today and for the next 2 days essentially are kind of people from community-based organizations that we've sort of worked with before, or whose experience we know about. And so really the purpose of the 3 days is just to bring those different people together. They come from informal settlements all over Nairobi, but also from a little bit further afield in a couple of cases. And it's really about those organizations learning from one another, and of course for us to learn from them as well. So our role really is just to sort of, as it were, provide that space for those kind of interactions and those kind of exchanges to happen. And what we're really hoping to achieve with this project is to have a film afterwards that we can share around, also with kind of wider stakeholders outside of Nairobi or outside of Kenya, but also to produce together jointly some kind of case studies or some toolkits that might be used by people to learn how people and organizations respond to crises. So the overarching theme for the 3-day symposium is resilience and responding to crises and informal settlements, but we have themed days. So and these kind of priorities or these different kind of topics for the days really have come out of the priorities of the organizations we've worked with previously. And so we're hoping that, that this is appropriate and that everyone's happy with these kind of themes. But so the first day is going to be structured around violence, so both gender-based violence as well as sort of political violence or political instability. The second day is going to be themed around youth training and entrepreneurship, and then the last day is about creative approaches to multiple crises.
I am Stephen Vertigans. I am a professor at the Gordon University Scotland in the UK. I've been working in Nairobi and Kenya through a variety of different informal settlements over a number of years, and I'm looking forward to meeting many of the people I've worked with during that period and many of the people that we as a team have worked with. And I see these as opportunities for us to learn yet more from the people who've done such amazing work and transformed so many lives. And the output of that, I would hope, will be that we develop new ideas that we're able to share and disseminate that may help transform other people's lives.
My name is Susan Mweni. I'm the team leader at Making a Difference Sisters, well known as MAD Sisters. Yes, the MAD Sisters. We're mad of the inequalities, mad of the injustices surrounding women and girls in the informal settlement of Kibra. Kibra is the largest slum in Africa, if not the world, and it's characterized by abject poverty, lack of access to healthcare services, lack of access to education, lack of access to sanitation. And also, gender-based violence is very prevalent in Kibra.
To be able to address some of the challenges that affect girls and women in Kibera, we have a set of thematic areas to help us meet them where they are, but bring out the best in them. Being that poverty is one of the challenges that women and girls in Kibera face, we give them a platform to address poverty as a challenge. We give the women the opportunity to go through financial literacy trainings. In this training, we not only provide them with the information about business, but we also give them the tools, the necessary tools that are essential for them to be able to start and run profitable and sustainable businesses. We give these women a small grant to be able to start and grow their businesses in the informal settlement. With this amount, they are able to provide for their families and to also be able to bridge the poverty gap that is present in the informal settlement of Kibera. Even though the resources are limited, we have so far been able to reach 70 women who have started and are running profitable and sustainable businesses.
is on peace, justice, and governance issues. We believe that young people must start engaging on governance issues and must be in the front line of advocating for peace, be able to move forward. We believe in championing education and looking at education holistically, where you see self-growth, but then also look at the formal education. That a lot of conflict is actually caused because of poor leadership or selfish leadership, or like any other negative thing that actually goes on with leadership.
Looking at the statistics of almost the few countries, and I've been asking myself, the UN says that sexual and gender-based violence takes 2%. If our finance person was here, she could have explained it better. They say that sexual and gender-based violence cases or journey takes away 2% from the economy. That is the UN statistics. In Kenya, we're about 13 to 15%. That statistics was way back in 2015. They've not done the latest. I am a survivor of sexual violence at the age of 16 and 19. I have gone through sexual violence looking for resources, knocking doors, and people will clearly look at me in the face and tell me, we cannot give you this funding if you do not meet me at 9 p.m. We are not alone in this journey. Other people are doing this work, and it is up to us to tap into those resources.
From Rebirth of a Queen organization, we support survivors of sexual violence and human trafficking, and my highlight for today's discussion was just acknowledging that our organization's challenges and crises interconnect with each other, like an organization that works in advocating against gender-based violence, and organization working with the deep root causes in the community like poverty. All these challenges interconnect, and it is amazing to learn that partnership is actually one of the most important aspects in this journey.
Hey, my name is Stephen Zusa. I am from Photostat. Today was, to be very honest, one of the most lively moments this year. I've got to meet amazing organizations. I've met people that are doing amazing work in their different areas and villages and spaces. People who are actually a solution and not a problem. One of the greatest aspects of today, I learned a new word. Yes, I did learn a new word, survival economy or survivors economy. Actually didn't know that exists. You would wonder how, and yet I'm in the organizational world, but there's always something new to learn daily. Out of this conversation today, I've got to know what it truly means to have survivors out there who are economically empowered, and they're bringing in or raking in money that is actually also supporting the country financially.
Hi, my name is Valerie Kwena from Mad Sisters. From my own point of view, today's session has been amazing. We've been able to connect and interact with like-minded organizations, guys who are focused about bringing change and ensuring there's peace and resilience in the members of their community.
It was really fulfilling, and it was a wonderful day, very productive. I do slightly feel like my head is going to burst with all of the kind of new things I've learned from everyone that was here. I think it went wonderfully well. Ben Noko from Amani Kibera did a really nice sort of opening session, and then it sort of felt like a really nice safe space for everyone. So people really shared their experiences, which is what we had been hoping for. I hope others enjoyed it as much as I did. And I think maybe the sort of thing that's going to stick with me most is a story that Akini told us, and she's from Rebirth of a Queen, and she told us about the economic empowerment activities that her organization are undertaking, and it's best summed up with the idea of the women who are in a refuge because they're fleeing sexual and gender-based violence, making leather products to sell, basically to set them up as entrepreneurs, and they like leather because they feel that it's something that can be handed down and has something of value which they didn't experience themselves, and also it's something that only lasts if you put a lot of care into it. And I just thought that was an absolutely wonderful metaphor for a lot of the work that the organizations do that we've interacted with today. Yeah, it was great.
Hello, I'm Dr. Irene Okanwa. I work for Robert Gordon University, Scotland. And today is day 2, and we are going to be focusing on youth training and entrepreneurship. And I am looking forward to having a session that will be very engaging, where experts from different fields will come and share their experiences, especially best practices with regards to issues they are dealing with, and what are the things that are working well that they could share, and we learn from each other.
My name's Caroline Musioka, and I come from an organization called Interventions Africa as the Chief Visionary Officer. Glad to have attended today's session. At Interventions Africa, we are keen on empowerment through education and capacity building. Key focus being on vulnerable children and out-of-school youth. Again, they pose a problem tomorrow if not taken care of today. So for this particular session that I'm attending, I am keen to understand how we intermarry the different practices that come from the different organizations, their experiences, have a go ahead on how we can better do capacity building together, how we can do education programs together, and create policies again that are friendly into ensuring that the education system focuses on what might be lost if our kids are not keenly looked at. And by this, I'm talking about the vulnerable children from vulnerable communities, the underprivileged, and maybe those life has not given them the opportunities to be what they would have wanted to be.
My name is Tom Okech. I work and live in the Kibera informal settlements in Nairobi. Today at the symposium here, we are going to look at youth training and entrepreneurship. And this is an area that we are going to look at the various available opportunities for youth to involve in entrepreneurship, to train in various skills, and the things that are required for this to happen, and also look at what has happened before and any improvements that can be done so as to make it better, because there are those who have come before, and we want to learn from what has happened before and see ways to improve so that we can have a better impact.
So the name is Robert Muchiri and Faris Kahuha. Please let's make them welcome.
I'm the chairman. So as we started, our group started in 2017, and it is in Korokocho. And the aim of coming together as a group was to reduce the rates of crime within Korokocho, because the Korokocho had names like, when you go to Korokocho, you have the names there is a Bibs, Maggies. So we decided to change the use. We have the park there. So the area was a hiding place for the people. So we decided to change that area by removing the trash in that area. And then we constructed a park there. We just approached the Italian corporation. It was through the slum upgrading within Korokocho. And then we write a proposal to them. We just provided the materials.
We do farming. We also do animal. We keep animals like pigs. We also engage our members to Mjengo works. When we get any opportunity, we try to take our youth to go and work at those places. We have a mentorship program for the youths. We have a feeding program.
Kungarumtani it's derived from a word kungara, to look smart, to shine. Mngaro mtani, and mtani is the hood. Mtani is the hood. Mngaro mtani. Do you know that many of young people after college and after universities, they don't have even money to buy shoes?
There's so much that can be done if we create a purpose and decide that this is what we want to do. So there is so much out there that we can still do. Savings and credit cooperative organizations or SACCOs. Mwasibu Sacco offers loans to members promoting savings and credit. Stima Sacco provides loans and financial services to its members. United Sacco focuses on saving and credit facilities for entrepreneurs. So there are several, many more SACCos that people can join and can help them. Then there are the government programs and funds. There's the Youth Enterprise Development Fund, which the government will put money on. When the budget is ready tomorrow, there will be funds that will be put into the Youth Enterprise Development Fund.
Hello guys, my name is John Rizzi. Call me John Rizzi. My name is official name is John Chalo, aka John Rizzi. I'm from Rizzi Link Safaris, which is a travel agency, well, a tour and travel company. We do both domestic and international tours. So I'm here today I spoke with the team. I had time to share my story from shifting from the slum to being someone who is a business entrepreneur out there. My experience today has been amazing. It feels so good to share your story in your own way, in your own capacity, at least, and also enlighten people if they want to become entrepreneurs or they want to do business, what they can at least consider when they are putting everything together. So that was my day today, and it was amazing. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Dr Neil Gibson, and I'm from Gordon University in Aberdeen. My background is in social work, but I've become really interested in therapeutic use of creativity. And what I focused on myself is using photographs to work with groups, to work with individuals, to look at things like self-esteem, empowerment. So that's really what's driving today's workshop. Not specifically photography, but the theme of creativity. What is creativity? What does it mean for organisations? And how can it be used to look at things like empowerment, resilience, and really enhancing the resources within communities as well.
It's about the creatives, is the talents and entrepreneurship program that we run. This program has had impacts on whatever we do within the community and outside externally. When I started thinking about the talents on entrepreneurship program, I thought of it from a business mind and a creative mind as well. What can we do with the youth who are not transitioning from primary school or high school, or those who are in even high school, but they don't have a clear niche on what they need to do? So we started with DJ Academy in 2011. Yes. So we train DJs, and especially, I have a soft spot for women. And when you try to engage ladies in terms of creativity, they shy away, but we keep pushing so that creativity can, give them a livelihood. I have a lived experience of a young girl who was in the streets and was sent to me by one of my directors, who is a musician, nameless. She happened to find him in a concert somewhere and asked, "Mimi sitaki hata unipatie pesa. What can you give me to earn to support my child?" Because she was in the streets and she had given birth as a street child in the streets, given birth to a child, and she has no way to fend for this child. They are all still living on the streets. So she was sent to me. I had a talk with her, and I told her what we are working on right now is we are training DJs. She said, "I'm interested to have a skill because I don't have a skill." And I realized how important it is to have a skill for yourself. So we trained this lady. It's a course that can take you, for us, it's expensive because it takes 9 months, where you go through the training plus the internship within the space or other spaces that we have, and also transitioning you to the job market. As you speak, the lady is very settled. She has other business ideas because we train them through business skills. and the entrepreneurial mind, and helping them to have a business plan. When you have your idea, you have to write it. So these ideas that these young people have, we've taught them acumen on business. Like, how do I translate my income into money? How do I translate my creativity? How do I monetize it? And how do I leverage on the market that are there? So currently, she's in dealership as well, car dealership, house dealership, real estate, I would say. And she called me just to tell me, they call me mom. Mom, I'm just happy that you gave me a skill. And this skill, I'm using it to educate my son and support my family.
So when we were distributing food, we came to realize that some of our elderly families were really suffering. But then one thing we need to understand is that these people are really suffering. In terms of the housing, the shelter, and most of the homes that we've constructed belongs to the elderly families who lost their kids to crime. Alcohol is very rampant in that area, and diseases. So most of them are left to fend for like 10 or 6 of their grandchildren. So it's been a problem. We also operate on Binti Zetu. Binti Zetu is a program for girls. We work with teen mothers in the area. We've narrowed it down to 300. Out of this 300, we've taken like 30 back to TVET.
We are now at an era of social media. If I'm going too fast, please stop me. Social media advocacy. We are now at an era where social media is almost a basic, and doing it through social media, it will be able to reach more CBOs that are both physical and virtual, and this will help to build extended networks.
If you're working even with elderly people, literally you are seeing struggle every day. So everyone is dumping all their issues on you. Now who do you dump your issues to?
Our common challenge was limited resources, which was in terms of human and money.
As the community, as the different CBOs shared, one of the things that came out so strongly is the significance of the CBOs in communities' resilience. So the community becomes resilient because of the different works that are being done by the different CBOs. But strategically, I think what worked for me and what stood out for me is the way one little thing, one single thing like clothing in a community becomes a window through which many other organizations or many other activities or programs emerge, and that stood out for me.
So I'm Torres Sam from Nairobi. One thing that I've really liked about this 3-day meeting is one, networking and exploring ideas, and also seeing my weakness and getting more strength that I didn't know, discovering more strength. I believe that teamwork is everything. Thank you.
Right here.
How was your experience for the 3 days?
Oh my word, it's amazing. My head is buzzing with ideas. We can't wait to already follow up. We're planning our follow-up now already. We have good plans. James, yes.
How was your 3 days symposium?
Beautiful. I would say lots of learning and unlearning, networking, rebuilding, reconnecting. So I really love these 3 days.
Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm fine.
Well, how was your 3-day symposium?
It was awesome. A lot of networking, a lot of learning, new innovations, exchanging contacts with the different organizations, and looking for a bigger consortium to face our challenges as CBOs in the grassroots.
Thank you.
The 3-day symposium was really very good, eye-opening for me. Yes, I would say I have learned a lot about the activities that happen in Kibra. I am really impressed by the energy,
the creativity and the resilience of the people of Kibra from the stories that have been told.
Working in partnership is the way to go, and I want to believe from this particular engagement, there's a lot that needs to be, put together, make them neat fit so that everyone feels comfortable working with each and every one of us, because we have diverse ideas, we're unique in our own ways, we are innovative, there's a lot of innovation around here, there's a lot of resources amongst ourselves, so why not? We can fly higher together.
Senior. And finally, above all, having a consortium that will amplify our voices.
Sure.
Coming from all these areas and the powerful people that we have and the impact that we've created in the communities, I think it's the right time to have the consortium and even the network itself.
And I think at this juncture we can say we have a call out to all slums. It's possible pamoja.
An earlier version of this film was launched with featured CBOs in Kibera in January 2025. This version is informed by their feedback. The symposium and subsequent workshops have produced a huge range of insights, information, and resources. We have collated these in an online toolkit. Here we want to conclude the film by sharing a snapshot of the best practices of community-based organizations in informal settlements in Nairobi, Kenya, as identified by participating organizations in our final workshops. Partnerships have enabled organizations to build synergies according to thematic areas and enable information sharing. For example, with peace building and gender-based violence organizations working together, there are excellent examples of CBO's consortia around the issue of gender injustice in Kibera. These consortia can improve diversity and inclusion to reach the key populations such as people with disabilities. They can build capacity and strengthen advocacy through unified voice. Partnership working has entailed a strategic approach that enables CBOs to work together with a range of stakeholders towards longer-term sustainability and to develop impact for their community. CBOs frequently adopt a creative approach using photo voice to tackle trauma, creating green and safe riverside spaces, sports and drama, for peace building and inequality, empowering the elderly people by offering modeling for grannies are a few but many examples of excellent practice. To help community members develop skills for entrepreneurship, the CBOs offer a huge diverse range of courses and support programs such as DJing, tailoring, beauty, therapy, pastry making, business management, urban farming, information technology, hairdressing, and modeling. Organizations are part of the communities they serve and work closely with beneficiaries to shape programs and feedback about the impact. Alongside social media platforms, they harness connections like local radio and TV stations to communicate with the community. However, the participants are also reflected on the need for training on aspects like monitoring and evaluation, financial management, grant writing. While our online toolkit signposts existing resources, it does not replace the need for local, national, and international support for the extraordinary work of these community groups are making in the transformation of lives.